I'm going to share with you today a simple style that you can do on your hair if you're attending a wedding or a special event where you want to wear your hair up. Okay, so the only things you're going to be needing for this hairstyle are either a brush or comb, a large hair elastic, a small baby hair elastic, and some hairpins that look like this that are open on the end. Okay, so we're going to start on dry hair, and you can see she's got just a little bit of wave in her hair, like she had some old curls in her hair. That part is not necessary. You could do this on straight hair as well. But the first thing we're going to do is section off a little bit of hair through the front. So I'm just going to, right off of the parting, I'm just going to draw a little section down to right behind her ear. So you can see right there. And we're just going to kind of push that aside for now. And we're going to repeat and do the same thing on this other side. So we're going to go from her parting and just section that down right about down to the ear, and just let that hair pull aside. If you have a hard time just kind of letting it fall over your shoulders, you can take these two sections together and just kind of clip them like right under your chin while you're doing this so that you can work on the back. I'm going to flip her around so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so now we've got just this back section of hair. I'm going to take my brush now and just smooth over that section. If you'd like to add a little bit more volume in the crown area, you could optionally go in and just do a little bit of teasing or back combing in the crown before you do this step. But I don't think we're going to do that today. We're going to leave her a little smoother. We're going to make this as simple as possible. So once we've brushed and smoothed this hair down, we're going to take our larger hair elastic and we're going to just band that like a ponytail. Nice and simple. Get that out there. Now we're going to take this ponytail and just eke it down just a little bit so that it's a little loosened out. So I just kind of took it and tugged it down a little bit so it's not so tight to the head. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take two of our fingers. I take my thumb and my forefinger, and I'm going to go right in, like in the middle like this in the ponytail. I'm going to do it from this side so you can see it coming out the other side. And I'm just going to kind of split the hair a little bit. So you can see, come in a little closer. You can see my thumb and forefinger now coming through that ponytail. We're going to, I give a little twirl on this to make it easier to wrap. I'm going to grab my ponytail and now just pull it through that little hole we created and then tighten up my ponytail. So we've created just this little loop here that we're going to keep. Okay. And the other side looks like this, where we have the ponytail now coming out of. Okay, so I'm going to take this section now, and I'm just going to brush and smooth it over. If you'd like to use a little product at this point, I love using a spray wax just to help add a little bit of shine and to smooth any little bit of flyaways. So I'm just going to spray that right over that section, and I'm using Sexy Hair Play Dirty. That's one of my favorites for up styling when you want just a little bit of soft shine and control without putting too much product into the hair. It works really nicely. So you can see we've just brushed and smoothed over the section going in this direction. So our ponytail is coming one way, right? We're going to smooth it because we're going to be wrapping this back over this way. So I just smoothed out this side of the ponytail. And now we're going to gather all those little ends. And this is where our little hair elastic is going to come into play. And we're going to just take those ends now and get her to stop spinning for you. And we're just going to tighten, wrap the elastic around just the ends of the hair. You can do this as close to the ends as you can get without any of your layers or little hair sticking out. So now we've created this, right? We've got our ponytail that flipped through. We've got our little hair elastic on this side after we've smoothed it all out. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to take this, bring it across. We're going to take this ponytail and just tuck it in inside of itself so that we're going to create this little roll. I'm going to step around so I can see a little better what I'm doing while I'm showing you. So the ends of the ponytail tail get tucked in, and you just roll it across like this. And now we're just going to take those hairpins, which again, it's those open-ended hairpins that have the ends like that. And we're just going to loop a little bit of hair, flip the pin over, and then push it in to lock it into place. And we're going to do that with maybe 2 or 3 pins. So I'm going to take one underneath here. I'm just gathering a little bit of the hair from that loop we just created, and then flipping it over and pushing it back in. And you can see we've created this beautiful little bun here. You can add a couple more pins to this at this point if you feel like you need to secure it a little bit better. A good way to check that, I find, is give your head a little shake and see if you get any movement in that and if it feels secure or not. So now we've created this nice little roll in the back. Now we're going to shift over to working our sides into things. So we're going to take the sides, and I'm just kind of smoothing them over with my brush. You can twist them a little bit to create a little bit of detail. See how that kind of comes across? And we're just taking that side now and wrapping that over the top of that little bun that we've created. And then once I get to the end, I wrap those ends around my finger. We're going to take another one of our pins, hook that, and we're just going to use our pin to tuck that into place. So see, we've taken our side and just swept it back and brought it over the top with a little bit of a twist and secured it in place on the opposite side. We're going to now repeat that same thing with this other front section of hair now with the other side. So I use my brush just to smooth it over. Again, you can take a little bit of that spray wax. I prefer that to a hairspray because it leaves it really soft. I like to wait for a hairspray till when I'm like done finishing. I'm spinning here a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm taking it behind the ear. Once I get about to the ear, I'm going to just twist that a little bit and create this little roll just to neaten things up. Twisting it also helps if you have shorter face framing pieces that you don't want to leave out. It helps to loop those in and secure those so you don't have those pieces falling or slipping out of your style when you're finished. And then we're just going to wrap that over the top again. I'm taking the ends, wrapping them around my finger and kind of coiling them around my finger. And then I'm taking my hairpin and I'm going to secure this on this side. And I'm going to do just one more pin. As you can see, I've got this little piece of hair here I don't like. I grab that with my hairpin and just tuck that underneath. You don't even see it. So now we have this beautiful little up style. Nice and simple. If you wanted to leave pieces out in the front, if you had shorter face frame pieces, you could absolutely do that with this style. The other option you have is to add a little ornamentation. I like to sometimes tuck a little something in the side here. So I have these little pins and I just take that and kind of tuck it into that corner. And then these have some really great like bendable details on the end of them that you can just kind of shift and bend so that they lay flush. But that gives you just a little bit of detail behind the ear. If you wanted to add a little something, you could add a little rhinestone clip in there also, or a comb, and that would work excellent. But here we are, our simple little up style that you could do if you were going to a wedding or event and needed to put your hair up. You should be able to accomplish that in about 5 minutes, maybe 10 if it takes you, if you have to work it a little bit longer, but nice and simple and quick. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you on the next one.